Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. So today's video, I didn't really know exactly how to do, let's be honest. I've been asked this by more than one person, how I choose the colors when I'm putting together a look. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys my process. I feel like it's something that is definitely personal preference, and there's a few different factors, but I'm gonna kind of just take you through step by step how I would put together different lip and cheek combinations and eyeshadows and all the things. So if you want to see how I do it, keep looking. Hopefully it'll inspire you, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you see when my next video drops, and thanks for being here. Okay friends, let's just get right into it. I already have my face on, and I didn't do my eyes. I'm gonna show you guys eyes, lips, cheeks. I do have a little bit of blush on, and that will bring me to my first thing. So let's just put it out there right now that a lot of this is gonna be completely, number one, personal preference. Some people only like one shade of lip and cheek color. They're pink girls or they're neutral nude girls. I am very much a nude girl, but I still wear all of them, and I like to make my own concoctions. If you guys have been following along for a while, you know that I rarely ever wear just one lip or cheek color, like rarely. I swear there's an endless combinations, and I have yet to try them all. So I'm always trying new shades. But if you only have like one shade and you're looking to branch out and you're maybe wanting to find something that will go with the most things, there's so many different ones of like every category. I feel like we have a lot of pinks, we have a lot of neutrals. I feel like maybe we don't have as many red, plum shades we're getting more of, but for the most part, if you like it, wear it. I'm one of those people that's like, you know, if you don't have to wear a pink shirt or have it be summer to wear a pink blush. If you like pink, it'll look good with anything you wear. So I feel like pink is very neutral. I feel like peach is neutral. They're all like variations of a natural flush, okay? That's why we wear blush, right? So we're wearing it so it ties in with our contour, and it makes your makeup look finished. It brings light to your eyes if you have a flush of color on your cheeks. So today I'm wearing nude. I feel like every person needs to have that one shade that they can put with any look they do, especially because we've all like known kind of that rule, like if you're gonna do like a bold eye, don't do a bold lip, and if you're gonna do really bold cheeks, you might not want to do bold eyes and lips. Like sometimes it just looks like too much, and you guys know I say all the time there are no rules, but there's some guidelines to makeup, and we don't want to look completely overdone by having all three bold, right? So my rule of thumb is usually one bold, but then again, what's the definition of bold? For some people, it can be different. So I recommend finding that one blush shade that to you is like your most perfect natural flush. And with that, you can do any eye look, any lip look, and you know you're not gonna clash, you know you're not gonna be wonky, right? So I definitely think there is such a thing as clashing colors. So if you aren't the best with color theory, Google a color wheel. I'll drop one in here so you guys can see. But you want to think of complementary. Obviously, all of our lip and cheek colors are versions of pink, peach, red, okay? They're all that natural flush. So they're not going to clash as much as like red and green, right? Like, you're not gonna look like you have Christmas on your face. But it's very possible to do those colors. You could do green eyeshadow. I don't recommend doing a bright red blush with green eyeshadow for the very reason that you might look Christmassy, unless it's Christmas time. That's different. There's kind of general guidelines you can do. That's why I say, you know, if you're gonna wear a bright hot pink lip, say you're gonna wear Dahlia on your lips, I probably wouldn't recommend wearing the bright red cheek color. I'd say if you're gonna do bold on either lip or cheek, do neutral on the other, okay? So that's if you're gonna just do like one shade on each. If you're a mixer like me, I really have never found a combination that I didn't like, okay? It's makeup, you can wash it off if you don't like it. Wipe it off with a makeup wipe, use a little bit of highlight and even it back out. Honestly, like, this makeup is foolproof. You guys know it's not like you have to redo your full face. You can just wipe it off and add more. You guys know, like, my motto is experiment. So experiment. Like, all of these very neutral shades, like this one might look bright, this one might look bright, but really they can be pretty sheer if they're just blended out, okay? And this one is actually really sheer. So I feel like everything on this top layer is really mixable. I've probably mixed combinations of 2, 3, sometimes 4 of these shades and got amazing results. So some of the darker ones you might have to be a little bit more leery of, but still some of them I love to mix. Like Sandstone is like the color of my shirt, and I love to mix it with plums and pinks to kind of bring some pink into it because it's a very warm shade. So think about mixing cool and warm to get neutral. I mean, there are endless possibilities when it comes to mixing. So again, experiment, have fun with makeup, right? So when it comes to lip and cheek colors, I usually just kind of, you guys know me, I'm a neutral girl. I usually stick with neutrals. I like a more dramatic eye. But if you're doing subtle all the way around, you can break out a bold blush. I'm just not, personal preference again is number one. I'm just not a bold blush person. You won't see me rocking a bright blush. I just never do. It's just not my look. So again, I can wear all these shades. They can just be worn more sheerly, is that a word? More subtly. They're also pigmented. You just use less and you can customize the shade depending on how much you're adding. That's part of the glory of cream blushes. And honestly, you put in on one, it's too bold, grab a different one to then maybe neutralize it, tone it down. I do that all the time. So with this shirt, no joke, I would probably rock Sandstone. The other day I couldn't find my Sandstone, so I mixed, and I don't even remember, what did I mix? I think I mixed Dahlia and Plum, and I got a very similar shade. So if you don't have one of these shades, you can always play around and make up your own. If you ever watch my videos, I usually do my face first. I end with blush. I don't think I mentioned before, nude is like my signature lip and cheek shade. I feel like I can wear it no matter what on the day with whatever makeup look, and it always looks amazing. But it's my favorite personal preference. I recommend finding yours. So finding that shade that you feel like you can wear year round, any makeup look, your go-to, okay? That way, on days that you just don't want to decide, because let's be real, some days we just don't want to have to make another decision. Like choosing what to wear is enough, right? Then pick that lip and cheek. Have fun with your eyes instead. You don't have to necessarily take so long to decide every single shade. Honestly, on the most part, on most days, I just say, what am I feeling like today? So number one is personal preference. Number two, your mood. Some days I am totally feeling warm shades. Other days I don't know, something about pink like perks me up, makes me happy. So, but you know, it depends on what you feel like does that for you. Some people wear Frenchie on every day. It's like the perfect neutral on them. And I don't even wear that shade that much. But then when I do rock it on days where I feel like it, I'm like, oh, I really love this shade. Why don't I wear it more? Okay, so 2 is your mood. 3 is the season. So when it comes like rolling into fall and I'm getting fall vibes, I rock sandstone all the time. But right now it's spring and this color is considered a spring color now. Like it is one of the colors of the season and I'm not mad about it because I love this shade. So sandstone is like that perfect warm shade, but sometimes some girls I know that are artists wear this color on the daily, okay? So if you just feel like you look good in warm tones, pick this baby up. You can put it on, and if you feel like it's too warm, like I feel like it looks very neutral. A lot of these shades look neutral on me. Maybe it's just because I want them to, because I love all neutrals. I don't know. Okay, so you can see I put too much on this side. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more over here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my highlight brush and kind of just pull it over. You can also just grab your perfector, dab some off. Now remember our lip and cheeks, they kind of die down after about 5 minutes, so this will be a little bit more subtle. If you want your lip and cheek to really last, you can powder that area. If you are like me and like a dewy finish, this is why I never wear just one shade. So I love the mattes, they're the most pigmented, and they really do last the longest, I feel like, in my opinion. I don't like them on my lips because I just can't stand the feeling, but I'm a layerer. So if I wanted to keep that warm tone, I would probably layer Love Spell. Okay, Love Spell is warm. It's very similar to my shirt as well, but it is glossy. Or Royal. Royal's this next one down. It's more like a wine. And then, let's see, which one's Black Cherry? Black Cherry. The other one's Ever Red, which is seasonal. So Black Cherry. So say I'm like, okay, I want to add a little bit of purple. I probably add Black Cherry. It's got those purple undertones. But say I'm going into summer because it is spring after all. So since I like to layer all of the shades, okay, I usually then will top all of my lip and cheeks with a gloss or a satin. So you want to add a little sparkle, add Sunshine State, or even Lolly, okay? Desert Sunset, I feel like can be layered over anything. It's not gonna change the tone very much. It's a very sheer, just, I don't know. Are these both Sunshine State? Yeah, they both are. It's very sheer. So, Desert Sunset is a never fail. Layer over anything to give it a little extra glow. I feel like the same with Sunshine State. Did I just say Sunshine State? Desert Sunset, Sunshine State. Now I'm like confusing myself. Either one. If you like more of a golden glow, Sunshine State. This one's just gonna give a natural, almost dewy look to the cheeks. If you feel like you need to tone it down, a really good one to tone down with is Ballerina. That is a satin, so it's gonna give you a little bit of glow, but it's gonna tone that down. So when you're needing to tone down a shade and you don't wanna necessarily like layer or take away some with highlight or anything like that, just grab something more neutral. So just like we do with our highlights, we're wanting to tone an area down, stick with a neutral highlight. So Bare, Ballerina, even Nude works really well. Sadie is a really good one because it's a very nude one as well. But really, you guys, you can top them with anything. So this is Sandstone. You probably would never think to top it with something more corally, but I'm going to put Tropicana over it. It is a satin, so it's gonna give a little bit of a glow, but it's gonna bring a little bit more of a pinky orange. Okay, so I feel like I still have that warmth, kind of ties with my shirt, but it's not as matchy because I'll show you guys with my eyes my personal preference when it comes to picking out shades. So let's do eyes next. I feel like eyes is the most fun thing to really coordinate. So if you guys have seen my looks of the day, I love to coordinate or not, I don't necessarily pick contrasting shades. I like to pick complementary shades. So if you look at that color wheel again, things that complement each other that are across from that color wheel are like purple and gold, blue and gold as well, things like that. So I like to complement. I also like to be a little matchy sometimes. If I know I'm wearing something very springy, I'll pick out like a pale purple or something like that. But I'll use green liner if I'm wearing an olive green shirt. I like to match. Not everybody does. Again, number one, personal preference. So with this shirt, I feel like I didn't go way too matchy with my cheeks, so now I can with my eyes. I tend to only match maybe one area, so I wouldn't wear like sandstone on my lips, sandstone on my cheeks, and wear a color that's like sandstone, which is Zion, on my eyes, because overall I feel very warm. So when I'm picking my looks, I like to always include some kind of cool tone. So whether that's like a nude, neutral lip with more of a warm eye look or warm cheeks, that kind of thing, or just on your eyes in general. I like to pick, you guys know me, I love Bubba, which is my go-to warm matte brown. I think I've got two Bubbas in here too. I'm like all over the place. Okay, so wearing a warm eye with some cool tones on the eye as well. So overall, you're not all warm. Now, I don't do this all the time. A lot of looks I do are just simply warm eye looks, and they're gorgeous. But if you feel like something is off and you feel like you're too matchy, or it doesn't look right to you, try adding a touch of something the opposite. So if you're wearing too many cool colors, add something warm, or vice versa. I feel like that makes a huge difference. So, and a lot of times it's just simple as adding a pop of a cool brightener on the inside corners of your eyes. It adds that pop and that touch of cool that your eye needs. So I'm gonna go in and pick a palette. Okay, so I do like to match. And you guys, honestly, when I first saw this shirt, I thought the color gilded. So if you've never seen this shade, it is one of those shades that's hard for me to describe. It's warm, but it's a shimmery warm. It's very similar, like Zion that I just showed you is also warm. So wearing both of these colors together, you can do those looks. You would definitely have to add something cool. Otherwise, it's gonna give you overall a very dark, matchy eye. So I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick Gilded. And then let's see, you guys know me, if you've ever seen my videos on eye looks, I always do the same kind of, when I pick out a four, for eyeshadows, I pick out a mid-tone matte brown. So my go-to is always Bubba. So this one is warm. Because I've already picked out a warm tone, I think I'm gonna go with a different one today. So I'm gonna go with my second standby, which is Basic. Okay, so in comparison, it's not super different, but Basic is very neutral. Okay, another option would be Bird. Okay, it's a little bit warmer than Basic, but not at all the same tone as Bubba. So I'm gonna pick Basic and Gilded. I'm gonna pick a brightener. So my go-to brightener is usually always Sabrina, but let's pick something different. Since this one is a dark shade and warm, I'm actually gonna kind of use it in place of my dark outside corner color, which is what I normally go with, just a dark matte. I'm gonna go with a different shimmer as well on the lid. These are hard choices, guys. So I'm gonna pick something that you might not expect for my brightener. So this is Soulmate. I should have, okay. It's technically pink. It does not pull pink on the eye that much. It's more of just a neutral, but it's extremely shimmery. So I'm going to do something a little different, because something is that people will think, okay, warm colors, that's not gonna go at all with pink. Okay, but I'm gonna show you. Now this is Peppa. This is a color I consider to be very neutral. Okay, so you'll see I have two technically pink shades, and then Gilded, and then ignore that Zion in the middle, and then my neutral. Okay, so with these four shades, I'm gonna do my eye look. And even though I've got pink and, what do I call this? Burgundy, burnt red, I don't even know. I don't know. Drop in the comments below. I have no idea. What is this? Burnt red, rust, maybe? Rust. I don't know. I'm gonna consider that rust. And I probably would have not picked pink with it, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna show you how it doesn't matter what colors, as long as they aren't clashing. That is gonna be my word, clashing. Like I probably wouldn't pick like blue eyeshadow. I don't even know. I'm trying to think what no, blue and orange maybe. Just, well, that might be a little crazy. I'm trying to think of what colors I would consider clashing besides red and green. All I can think about is Christmas right now. I don't know why. So, you know, just think of like colors you necessarily wouldn't put together because it's gonna scream something, like Easter. Okay, what colors? Yellow and blue. When I think of all the pastels, I would not put all the pastels on my eye unless I was going for a mermaid look. That is a look. But for an everyday eyeshadow look, I would pick one, and then I would stick with neutrals. So again, people's ideas of what's neutral are very different. I consider this a neutral, totally. So again, personal preference. If you want to match, if you want to coordinate, if you want to contrast, they're all options. So I'm just gonna drop my mid-tone matte, this is basic, right in my crease. Okay, halo it on the bottom, flip it over, blend. Okay, first color done. We're just gonna do quick and easy. Okay, I'm gonna grab my multitasker and Peppa so that I get the most color payoff. And I'm gonna press this color on my lid. Okay, so this technically is a pink, like Peppa Pig, but you guys, look at it on the lid. It's so pretty. It will literally look good on anyone. It's barely pink. It's very neutral. Again, I think everything's neutral. Okay, all I'm gonna do, press it on the lid, done. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and do my highlight. Okay, this is Soulmate. Again, looks pink. I'm gonna put it on that inside corner. I'm gonna kind of bring it a little bit in the inner corner onto my lid, and then I'm gonna just do a little bit under the brow to lift and highlight the brow. Okay, last color, Gilded. So this color, I usually go with a matte on my outside corner, but this color is dark enough that I can kind of use it for both. So I'm gonna use the blend and tap, and I'm just gonna kind of close my eyes, open it if you have to see, and I'm just gonna kind of start tapping that color right on that outside corner. Okay, so outside corner and then into the crease, like your actual crease. Open and close your eye if you have to, so you can see placement. Okay. Simple. Flip it around, kind of blend upwards. Can you hear my kids trying to sneak around, but not very good at it? Oh man, this is fun. And I almost just went in with the other eye, but I have nothing over there yet. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this on that outside corner. Okay, again, eyeshadow everything brush to blend it all together. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of eyeliner. Okay, a little Black Friday and a little kohl eyeshadow and mascara. I think I need to do the other eye. I'll be right back. Okay, so eyes are done. And see what I mean? Pink and what do I call it? Rust. So good, right? Easily able to do that gilded eyeshadow or switch it out with Zion and doing neutrals. I mean, we have so many neutral shades that could be like anything in this category would be super simple. Just keep the mid-tone matte brown. You can keep the highlight color or switch it out with Sabrina. You guys know how much I love that one. Easy peasy, so many different eye looks with just switching out 2 shades. So now let's go into lip combos. So if I was to do this look on a daily basis, I would totally rock a very neutral lip. If I was wanting to do a more bold lip, say wearing that sandstone on my lips, I would probably not have chose Gilded as my main focus color, I guess you could say, with my eyeshadow. I probably would have kept it more neutrals or lighter tones, so it wasn't like too dramatic. Or I wouldn't add liner, something like that, to kind of tone it down. And that's how I kind of determine the shades I'm going to wear. So when it comes to lips, I always kind of will pick either Astoria or Indigo to line my lips. They're pretty much whatever's in the palette. Obviously, highlight colors are chosen for you. You wear the same shades every day. You can obviously add a pop of, say, linen as a brightener for more dramatic highlight, but otherwise, those are pretty much decided for you. Contours, it depends on your skin tone. If you're like me, you can wear multiple shades. It depends on my mood. I definitely say I probably gravitate towards Indigo more in the fall because it has a much warmer tone. But throughout the year, like I'm wearing Astoria now. It's my go-to lately. I don't know why. It used to be olive and now it's Indigo. Switch it up, have fun with it. So probably because I can use Astoria on my nose because it's gray enough, and olive pulls warm on my nose, so I can't wear that one shade all over. And I used to never contour my nose. So I just use a multitasker and kind of do a rough line. And if I was going to do this look, I would probably pick something more neutral and more toned down, since I feel like I'm kind of matchy here. And I would probably grab either Summer Love or Sadie. Okay, so Sadie is really neutral on me, like pretty much my lip tone. And Summer Love has a touch of pink. So still neutral, a little bit of pink to kind of even coordinate with the eye look. You guys should know by now, I like to coordinate, even if it's an extremely subtle coordinating. Now, the last piece, I guess, of 3D foundation would be illuminator. When it comes to illuminator, I don't necessarily choose it for what I'm wearing, unless it's more of like a dramatic look or like date night look, something like that. That's when I usually pop out the powders, which are much more intense. If I'm wearing pink tones, I love wearing Photoshop. It doesn't pull super pink on me. It's very just neutral. I know, I think everything's neutral. You guys are gonna be like, seriously, Sarah. But on the daily, I will usually go with Photoshop. Looks good with those pink tones. George is kind of my go-to neutral. Goldie, I have done like dramatic gold looks where I gravitate towards that one. So again, it's what you gravitate towards a lot, personal preference. I don't wear these as much. That's just because, you know, we all have our favorites. So as far as the creams go, I feel like the difference in colors are so subtle that they're not going to make a huge difference. Like no matter what illuminator you choose, it's not gonna clash with the colors on in your makeup. Does that make sense? When it comes to skin tone, there are maybe certain options that are more natural or more bold that are gonna show up more on people. But as far as choosing a color, I mean, you guys know me, I tend to wear rose gold every day. I've been wearing the new Dolce a lot for like no makeup days when I want very natural. And I still really love Angel as well because it's got those tones like Photoshop. Those are the three I tend to gravitate towards. That one is definitely my mood. Depends on my mood. I switch it up on the daily. You could totally do that. It depends on how dramatic you want, kind of the occasion. A lot has to do with the colors I pick. But for the most part, I will pick out what I'm gonna wear and then I do my makeup. Because if I am in the mood to wear something bold, I don't wanna clash. So I'm not gonna pick a bright red lip or a hot pink lip with a color that I feel like looks off. Like this, I would never wear a hot pink lip with, or a red lip. Unless it was more of a rusty red, like sandstone, a warm red. So I hope that makes sense. So I hope that helped kind of give you a glimpse into how I choose colors. So personal preference, what was second? Your mood. So going into summer, I tend to grab a lot of hot pinks just because that is my mood. So season is also big for me. I wear a lot of warm colors going into fall, yet I am right now as well, and it's spring. So spring, I pick more spring colors. So I totally choose depending on the season, the occasion, depending on how dramatic I want to go. My color combinations might be a little bit more dramatic as well. They might not be as subtle as my daily looks. And sometimes it's just purely based on my favorites and those colors that are my ride or die daily go-to. I don't want to make an extra decision. I tend to gravitate towards a lot of the same shades. I have a go-to eye look. I have multiple go-to lip and cheek combos. Definitely think it's important to have those as well. So have those ride or die staples, and you have multiple staples that you can choose from depending on your mood. Maybe some colors I wouldn't pair. Not saying that this couldn't be a really fun, bold eye look, but I probably would not pair, say, Mihiha and Dabadi. That could be a really fun look, but most likely it might be like a Halloween look. You know, some of these bold ones, you might have to be a little bit more careful with what you pair them with. So my, I guess, rule of thumb is if I'm picking any of these super bold shades from mascara, I'm putting them with neutrals, okay? So blue and golds look really pretty together, so do purples and golds and greens and golds. You know, I'm probably not pairing together some of these colors that are gonna be thought of as like mermaid shades or Christmassy or just opposite ends of the spectrum together. But any of these colors with, say, a beautiful neutral, would look awesome, okay? So again, having those staple neutrals is gonna allow you to pair an endless number of combos. I mean, any of these could be used as liner or a pop of color on the lid using your just base neutral, mid-tone matte, highlight shade, and your golden. So just have fun experimenting with color. Don't be afraid of color because you're afraid you're gonna pair it with something wrong, stick to a neutral, and then you can branch out from there. Hope that helped kind of come up with some ideas for maybe color combinations. Really, there are no right or wrong ways to pick out the color of makeup you're wearing for the day. I've always, like, I get asked all the time, what color would you pick for my eyes? And I always say I'm a believer you can wear any color you like as long as you love it. But again, that goes back to having those like staple shades that do either make your eyes pop or, you know, like blue eyes, wearing golds really will pop your eyes. For me, wearing bright eyes, this shade really pops my hazel eyes because I have so much gold in my eyes. So having those staple shades, knowing what looks good on you is worth its weight in gold. So have those colors so that you know what to wear on those everyday days, because a lot of times I am very much a capsule wardrobe person. I might not seem like it, but I love my basic tees in, you know, solid neutral shades. Again, I consider this a neutral. Olive green is a neutral. Black and white stripes is a neutral. Camo is a neutral, in my opinion. So all of those kind of neutrals, I like to have those staple colors that I can wear with them, because not every day you're going to be wearing some fun color that you can coordinate with. You're going to have those staple colors, those colors that look good with anything that you can just pair with them, your go-to looks, as you will, right? So I hope that helped break down a little bit how oh my gosh, talk about pigmentation. My hands aren't coming clean. Hopefully that helps with some ideas on how to kind of pick out some colors to coordinate, thinking about seasons or what you're wearing. Have fun with the colors you're choosing. Don't forget to experiment. And if you have any questions, don't forget to comment below. If you need a color match, my questionnaire is below as well, and I'd be happy to help you out. So thanks again for being here. Love you guys. Bye.